Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share a post-burn review of the Kringle Candle Spellbound Collection Divine Clarity fragrance. Divine Clarity is launching later on this week along with 5 other fragrances in the Spellbound collection for Halloween 2025. So August 15th at noon Eastern is when this collection will be available. It is launching at the same time as the Boo Crew collection. I don't anticipate any sellouts in the Spellbound collection, but I do in Boo Crew. So if you plan on kind of picking up a mix of both, I would just say be very efficient when you're checking out. I do anticipate some sellouts with some of the fragrances, if not a lot of them from the Boo Crew. So like I said, if you're purchasing from both collections, be efficient when checking out. Things sell out very quickly. Kringle Candle did impose a strict limit of 1 fragrance for the Boo Crew, although there are no limitations in terms of how many of any of the given fragrances that you can purchase from the Spellbound collection. So you can have as many as you want there, but there's a very strict limit of 1 with the Boo Crew. So as always, just get what you want and start checking out. I feel like that's the best policy when it comes to some of these Kringle launches. I just know that the Boo Crew is pretty highly anticipated. Honestly, I love so many of the scents in that particular collection, and that is mostly what I will be shopping for this coming Friday. So anyway, there was one change made to the Spellbound collection that I just want to put out there in case you didn't hear it in my earlier review of another Spellbound collection fragrance. Kringle did lower the price point by $5 of the Spellbound collection candles. So they were originally going to be $30 at launch, but they are now going to be launching at $25. So I do appreciate Kringle making the price adjustment. I think that was definitely a smart decision on their part. I think $30 was a bit high for this particular collection. So anyway, if you want to purchase these, feel free to use the link in the description box. The candles will not be featured on the website until they're actually live on the website for sale. You can use my discount code Melanie15 to save yourself a little bit of extra money at launch, or you can also use any rewards that you might have available. So feel free to do that, but without further ado, let's dive into the Spellbound Divine Clarity fragrance. I have already shared this information in a couple of my other Spellbound collection reviews, but just in case you haven't seen any of those, Kringle decided to put a label on both the front and the back of the candle for this collection. You can see that the label is just a little bit worn in places. So the label is actually painted onto the jars. It's not something that you can peel off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the candle around, and you can see that amazing wax pool there. This candle has been going probably for about 4 hours at this point. So that's a really nice wax pool. This one has a really good strength and throw. On the back of all of the candles is a positive chant. I'll go ahead and read you the chant for Divine Clarity. Open wide my inner sight, guide me with the sacred light. Let truth arise, illusions part, reveal what's hidden in my heart. With every glow and cleansing air, bring wisdom pure and vision fair. So I think that's a nice positive little chant there. Anyway, so there is a look at the front and the back. Now, let's talk about probably the most important aspect, which is the scent. So By the way, the crystal that is included in this candle, if you're not aware, these candles come with some crystals embedded into the top of them. You can remove those crystals prior to burning the candle, or you can leave them in. I always remove mine and I just collect them in a little bud vase jar in my office. If you decide to leave them in, they'll basically just sink down into the wax pool each time you light your candles. So either way, whatever floats your boat, but the crystal that you are getting with Divine Clarity is clear quartz. All right, the top notes are citrus and fougere. There we go. That darn French word. For the mid notes, we have sheer linens and resins. And then at the base, we have musk and myrrh. So citrus, what am I getting in terms of citrus here? Okay, so I feel like the citrus that I get is actually, once again, bergamot. It doesn't really smell like any other type of citrus. It doesn't smell really like lemon. It doesn't really smell like orange. I definitely don't get lime, and I don't get grapefruit either. So I don't know. It's definitely got some citrusy like vibes to it, but I think the citrus is more so bergamot than anything else. And it's nice. I mean, it definitely works. The fougere note. So if you are not familiar, fougere is actually a French word, and basically it's the word for fern. So when it comes to both perfume and home fragrance, fougere usually ends up smelling kind of fresh and green. Sometimes it is slightly sweet. But basically, anytime that you see fougere listed as a fragrance note, it's just kind of gonna give you like some hints of green, maybe kind of like a sweet greeniness. So yeah, there is a green aspect to this fragrance overall. It smells like a very fresh, very bright green, and it definitely blends well with what I'm calling the bergamot note here at the top. When we get to the mid notes, the sheer linens and resins, I don't really smell much in the way of resins, if you will, but I do get a very slight, almost clean laundry vibe here, which is where I think they're going with this sheer linens reference. It kind of smells like a slightly floral but mostly fresh laundry detergent type of vibe. And then when we get into the base notes here of the musk and the myrrh, I very distinctly smell that myrrh. There's also a general muskiness to this scent. It's more of a clean type of musk note, but it's definitely present. It's a very interesting fragrance. By the way, Alf is taking a nap next to the camera here, so if you are hearing some random snoring, it's the dog. You're not going crazy. But yeah, this is just, it's a very interesting, fresh, kind of outdoorsy, definitely, I feel like it smells a little bit like fall, but I also think it could be considered more of a year-round type fragrance at the same time. Yeah, I will say, when it comes to the Spellbound collection, there aren't a ton in this particular collection this year that make me think of this collection being, you know, kind of witchy in its presentation, or nothing here smells overly Halloween-like, if that's, I guess, a better way to put it. So while I don't think this is really a Halloween scent per se, I do think it is a very pleasant fragrance. And if you tend to favor more fresh scents, if you at all align with the fragrance notes that I'm mentioning here and how I'm explaining them, I think it is a nice scent. I think that you'll enjoy it. The strength and throw are pretty good on this one as well. I would put the strength at a pretty solid 7. In fact, I think the first couple burns, it was pretty close to an 8. It was quite potent. I'm actually glad it's mellowed out a little bit here. So I'll put the strength at about a 7 now. The throw, just about the same. So it is absolutely going to fill the immediate area where you're burning it, and it will travel. I mean, it doesn't fill my entire downstairs of my house, but it certainly does travel into a few other rooms downstairs. In the upstairs of the house here, I've burned it in this back bedroom a couple of times, and it really does travel down the hallway around the corner. I can smell it all the way at the top of the stairs, and that's quite a ways from this bedroom here. So it does have some ability to, like, you know, move and disperse that fragrance for sure. The overall quality of the burn has been good. No issues with these wicks. Clean, usual soy wax burn. No complaints. The wicks, you're gonna have to trim them. They do get some like small carbon balls with this particular formulation, but not like a ton. Leave those wicks long on the first burn. They will self-regulate. I think the only real decision you're gonna have to make here is whether you're gonna leave the crystals in or not. But yeah, don't trim the wicks prior to burning this the first time. You'll do it each subsequent burn, but not with the first one. So overall, I think this is a nice scent. Is it one that I would personally stock up on? No, I can't say that, but I am enjoying it. I'm going to finish it. If it ever came back, I mean, I think I would definitely consider it in the future, but you know, it's also one of those types of scents where if I experience this once during the year, like I would be, you know, kind of content with that. So is it earth-shatteringly beautiful? No. Is it something that most everybody's gonna love? I won't say that either. This is definitely going to be geared towards those of you who like the fresher fragrances. If you are into sweets and gourmands, that is not what this is. So I'd say skip it if you're looking for that. But overall, I do think this is a nice fragrance, and I do think there are some people out there who would enjoy it. So let me know what your thoughts are on this one. I hope that this review was helpful. I hope the earlier 2 reviews that went up were also helpful. If you missed them, I'll link them in the description box. We have 1 more day and 3 more post-burn reviews to get through tomorrow. 2 more from the Spellbound collection and 1 more from the Boo Crew, and then we're ready to go for the launch. So I would love to know what you guys are thinking about getting at this point, so let me know in the comments. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.